So I was just told that on top of this, Kenny might have a fracture in his skull or might have internal bleeding, which I don't think he does because I saw the whole thing happen. And Kenny was going down the hill about 45 to 50 miles per hour. And he hit the small divot and he just went face first and hit right there. And at first I thought Kenny was okay. I was sitting there, I'm like, okay, Kenny fell, he'll get up, we'll have a good laugh about it. And Keish started freaking out in the passenger seat. I was thinking about saying it'll be okay, but then Kenny didn't get up, and Keish started running out of the car. So I put in park, I started running after Kenny. Keish flipped Kenny around, and we started asking him if he was okay. Kenny had his lip bleeding, his teeth were all red with blood, the side of his face was just covered, his hair was inside the wound. And I'm like, Kenny, you okay? And he just says, Kenny's classic line, he says, ow, ow, ow. So he tried starting to get up. We told him just to relax. We eventually got him, and then eventually you came up the hill. We got Kenny in the car. We started to get him cleaned up some. And then eventually, I guess Kenny didn't want a cool scar right there.
And on his lip.
Yeah, and on his lip. So we had to come here to get stitches in him now. Except the only problem now is Kenny can't remember a thing about the whole day. He thought it was all a dream. So I don't think what we do to Kenny, it's not going to bring back memory. I think he's just never going to remember today, no matter what he does. And I don't even know if he's ever going to be the same after this.
So, after this long day, especially for Kenny, who's been up a little over 24 hours, so it's been a long day, but now we're in the ER. Kenny we have been told that he needs to get a CAT scan, and we need to figure out what's wrong with his brain, because he thinks today was just a dream, and it's such a weird and crazy day. So he may or may not die. Most likely he is going to die. So at this point in time, we just need to figure out what we're gonna do for after he's dead and for school, and how disappointed Mom's gonna be that none of her real children are gonna play any sports or do any plays. So that's really the only problem that we're facing right now. Mom's in there just talking with Dad about what we're gonna do after Kenny's dead. That's about it. So what do you remember from today?
I remember we went around to a lot of places and we ate a lot of food, but I also remember Kenny didn't have a whole lot of sleep. But I also remember today might not have actually been as good as I remember, because Kenny was having a really, really rough day today, because it all started when we were in the car. We were kind of messing around with Kenny. We were talking about things that made him feel uncomfortable.
Like what? For instance?
So, we were talking about, so recently, another truly traumatic story. Our friend Dave Show got shot in the nuts with a paintball gun. And Dave Show was definitely afraid that he couldn't have kids. So Kip graciously offered to be a donor for his children to be inseminated. And Kenny didn't much like that we were talking about this. But it had to be done because Dave Show's dreams are crushed now.
Right. As an actor and a father.
And a father. So... Why can't he act?
Because he won't feel passion anymore.
His voice is gone.
He can't hit the one note.
So Kenny was very mad about that. And then, what really hit Kenny hard, we came home, and Dave Show pranked
and this
his
is why
own
you call him
father.
Spurmy, right?
That's why we call him Spurmy. So we came home, and Kenny sat down. He was very upset. He'd had a long day at that point. And Dave Show comes up to Kenny's own father, and he's like, "Hey, you should test out our new car alarm." And so your father hit it, and then it hurt him, which in turn hurt Kenny.
That is rough on Kenny.
And then
No wonder
we
if he's
started making
forgetting.
fun of Kenny for that, which made Kenny even more upset. And on top of that, we went swimming, and Kenny can't swim. Not because he can't,
Because he definitely can't.
because he has ear problems. And now it's that ear, but he injured this one too, but I just don't like to think about it. So
From his
Kenny
brain.
can't hear in this ear at all. He even goes to bed with one headphone in because he can't even bother without one. It'd be useless.
Completely
So
deaf in his
Kenny
left
had to
ear.
sit on top of the slide, and he just twiddled his thumbs as we were all splashing and playing in the pool. And on top of that, so we went back inside eventually. We offered Kenny to get in the hot tub, and he was just so heartbroken at that point, he just couldn't even drag himself to do it. So after that, we decided to go skating. And then the whole thing happened. Kenny's pretty beat up, but I think the truly worst part is, well, there's two very bad parts. The lesser of the two is Kenny's functioning ear. The only thing he can truly hear out of is now cut up, and I saw part of it was dangling. So it's very cut up inside Kenny's ear. But on top of that, the part, not even the memory loss really affects Kenny that much. It's the fact that
I think his memory loss is due to the fact that he had a terrible day, and I think he's just trying to
he's
forget
probably trying
today.
to
He's
repress
like
his
subconsciously
whole-
trying to
he's
forget
trying
today.
to repress his whole day. But on top of that, we had to break the awful news to Kenny after he finally regained some conscious that Kenny destroyed his cheese grater shirt in the accident.
He did.
And I think even if Kenny pulls through and he survives, I don't think he'll ever be the same without that shirt.
Never.
And then I know Kenny would want us to go through his stuff once he's dead, but I think what we'll do is we'll put his
Burn it.
cat. Yeah, we'll have to burn it all. So probably once we get out of here, we'll just go straight home and we'll just light it all on fire in the backyard.
In honor of him.
Yeah, in honor of him. And we'll even set Terraria as his screensaver on his Xbox before we set that on fire. But we'll leave his cat sweater on top of his coffin
We
as
should
remembrance.
burn it inside his room.
Yeah, we should. We should just burn Lenny's whole room. It'd be what he would want. And then we should also tear up the
We can
soccer
keep the
field.
door though.
Yeah, we'll keep his door, of course.
We'll make it our new house door.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe make a new house.
Yeah, we might just build a whole new house around Kenny. Maybe we'll probably just police tape off
Do you think
Kenny's
we put
room.
Kenny in the room when
I
we burn it, or should we just bury him somewhere else?
think we should do it Viking style, and Kenny should have his Xbox One S controller inside his hand, sitting in his cat jacket as he's playing Terraria, and then we'll just light his whole room on fire.
I like
And then we should also demolish Kenny's secondary room downstairs. That way no one can ever go in it and disrupt his memory. So I think we should just remove that whole section of the house. It'd be what Lenny would want.
hope so.
I just don't know what we're gonna do without him.
Nope.
Real cringy. My lip is swelling up really bad. You wanna see?
Yes.
Because it hurts when you I tied it on the back too.
Make sure you call
So this
me
is
when
my eye right here. Pretty good, right?
and get settled.
Anyways,
Okay, because they're probably gonna have
Those ones on his arm are really starting
tired.
to show.
doctors up there.
today felt like a dream though. So
It's
weird.
probably because we never went to bed.
Probably.
We'll find out.
See, so you call me and then I.
It was so weird.
Maybe this is all just Kenny's dream.
Yeah, we'll convince
See?
them that it was.
Maybe
Maybe it is a dream, Kieran.
Maybe.
Maybe this is a dream.
Nah, it hurts.
Kenny, did Dr. Sheriff visit you?
When you leave here.
What are you talking about?
There's a guy in like a doctor suit and he had like a gun on the holster and a bunch of police stuff.
No, I don't know.
He didn't come in, but he looked like a sheriff.